Well, I'd like to welcome the representative from the Perry Nazarene
Yes.
Church. If you would introduce yourself to everyone, please, and bring our invitation.
I'm Amy Barber, so once again, I'm very thankful to have this opportunity to be here with you today. As I was getting ready to come in, I had read a quote by St. Thomas Aquinas that said, "To love is to will the good of the other." And it got me thinking that I'm pretty sure that loving others may not have been your primary reason for why you wanted to be on this council, but it is still what it is that you're here to do. You are here to will the good of other people through due processes and legislations and proper procedures. And a pastor that I follow writes that love properly understood is not a feeling, but rather is a commitment to action on another's behalf. It's something one does. It's an act initiated by one party for the good of the other party. So I was just thinking about that. I'm like, it's an interesting concept to think that we're here to love, but yet in a weird way we are, because love is much more than just some romantic notion. We are here for the good of the people. And again, I do thank you for choosing to be a part of this process. So if you will join me in prayer, I'd appreciate it. Dear God, we do love because you loved us first. You loved us before we loved you, or even if we love you or not. And that's just because you are love itself. And today, this is Holy Thursday, Maundy Thursday. Today's the day that you and your disciples gathered for the final time around a table. And we may not be celebrating Passover tonight. We may not be celebrating that kind of an event here in this purposeful meeting. But we're still gathering around a table. And as these folks do this service, Lord, I just ask that you would bless each and every one of them. I ask that you would bless them with wisdom, that you would impart upon them love for the neighbor, Lord, that any divisiveness would just not be able to be in this place, Lord, that good conversation, good discussion, good purposeful motion would be able to occur. Thank you for this time, thank you for this evening, and it's in your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Amy, so much. Happy Easter. Have a good weekend, everybody. I will call our meeting to order now at 7 o'clock and ask you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shirley, would you take roll call, please?
Peter Hammond.
Here.
Larry Lambert.
Here.
Mike Powell.
Here.
Bob Porter.
Here.
Mindy Galvin. Kamal Ghazi.
Here.
Kristen Babel.
Here. Looking for approval of our agenda for tonight.
I move that we adopt the agenda as printed.
Sorry, can I just say the
The
amended
amended.
agenda?
Oh, I move that we adopt the amended agenda as printed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Bob, did you second that? Mindy? Mindy did. Thank you.
The mouse next to me.
We have a motion from Kamal, seconded by Mindy. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion passes. We do have minutes of our previous council meeting and our budget workshop. So this next motion I'm looking for is one or the other.
I move that we suspend the rules, waive the readings, and approve the minutes from March 19th, regular meeting, and approve the budget workshop
Can I
minutes.
stop you for just a minute? And
Yeah.
we'll vote on one and then we'll do the next one,
Okay.
just in case there's any changes.
Absolutely.
So we are looking for a second on Kamal's motion.
Second.
We'll give it to Kristen, how about that? We have a motion from Kamal, seconded by Kristen. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Now I'm looking for a motion regarding our budget workshop minutes.
I move that we suspend the rules, waive the reading, and approve the budget workshop minutes from March 24th, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion from Mike, seconded by Bob. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Do we have any pre-approved reports? Misty, do you have any pre-approved reports
I do
tonight?
not.
You're just here to see us? Thank you for
Supporting.
You're so nice. So we have no pre-approved reports, but we'll move into public comment. Do we have any public comment for tonight? Yes, please come forward.
Shall we go together?
Sure.
We're just gonna talk together if that's okay.
That's absolutely fine.
I think everybody knows both of us, right?
Well, introduce yourselves,
Hi,
because
Greg.
they know your name but not your face, I don't.
Gregory Broder, Chair of the Shiawassee County Commission.
Cindy Garber, Vice Chair of the Commission and also Chair of the Finance Committee, which is why we're here. There are some questions as to the process by which we approve and pay our bills. So I did provide to your clerk an example of what's in our packet when we approve those bills that's provided to each of us as commissioners. So I would go through very quickly the process, or I'll take questions, whatever you prefer.
And if I may, the reason, again, I'm here now for the second time, you may or may not remember a while ago, to correct some of the things. Commissioner Shepard is your commissioner, and he comes in, he says things that are ridiculous, to tell you the truth. And the latest one that I heard about, I wasn't here, is that he claimed that there was a lack of transparency in our billing and that he doesn't know what we're voting on, what we're paying. This will all sound, I'm sure, very familiar to all of you. As you know, generally, we all approve the bills. We don't go over every check. Every week, all of us commissioners, we get a list of every check that's been written, every single week. We only meet once a month. There's ample time to ask about these things, and then we get a summary at every meeting in our packet a week before. We are fully transparent, everything is FOIA-able. The idea that we should sit there and go over every check at our meetings because he didn't do his due diligence and look through his stuff and ask about anything as a question, all of our meetings would take 5 days. We pay about, geez, how much do we pay every month? We pay $8-10 million in bills. It's
Yes, and pass-through monies that we collect just as you do.
so. We, again, I hate to come here and take up your time again, but when he says things to townships or our cities, we like to come forward and say, no, this isn't the case, because rumors get started, and we've done, we think, a great deal in the last 4 or 5 years toward showing everyone the county is running very well, and we watch every dollar, because we don't, like yourselves, we don't have any extra. So, anyway, obviously, if there are any questions about our spending, we're open books. We're willing to answer any questions about it. Would you like to add anything?
Thank you for coming, I appreciate that.
Yes.
I'm the one that was talking to Cindy and mentioned what he said. What he said was,
And
Well, I
thank
just
you
paid-
for telling us that.
we just paid $12 million, and I don't know why, or what we paid for in the last year, or 2 years ago, and monthly bills were $4 million. So, he left before I could go. I was gonna talk to him afterwards, but he left.
15 months ago, he asked the same question. 15 months he's been on the commission. And I explained to him, our general fund budget is about $22-23 million. And however, we have, the entire budget's about 100 because we handle Pleasant View and we handle the health department. A lot of that money is just passed through. It's just taken, so you see this large amount. But of course, it doesn't add up to $22 or $23 million because the entire budget is much, much larger than that. But in one ear's out the other or something. But again, no funny business going on. You know, I can jokingly tell you, we don't have enough money for any corruption or graft. We just don't. You know?
I do want to also thank you for coming, but I also want to point out to those watching and here in the room that Bob was not the only person that made the inquiry. Our city clerk made an inquiry to several offices at the county, and so she was doing her due diligence for us and shared that information with us as well. But we're glad you're here, so go ahead with your presentation.
Well, I would say, as Greg mentioned, we all get every check run. We call them IERs, invoice edit reports. That is a listing of who it was paid to, the date, the check number, the amount. And we're always told, if you have a question, contact the administration office. I often do. Not as much anymore because I'm much more familiar, but each department head, say it's the health department, it's the sheriff's department, the process starts there. So the bills are approved by a department head, then they're sent over to us, they go through our payable person, our finance person, and then they're also signed off by the clerk and the treasurer who don't work in our office. So there's multiple checks and balances all along that process. So just be assured that, again, many eyes, many steps on each and every one of those bills.
Council, do any of you have questions for either Greg or Cindy?
No. And if I may make one comment, because
Oh,
again, I
absolutely.
think this will be very familiar to all of you. Dr. Ghazi will see this at CMH because I've always done the same thing on all the boards I've been on. If you trust your administrator, whatever your top person is, you can say to them, all these bills, is there anything on here unusual? I put that back on our finance department. If there's something unusual, you better tell me, because I want to find out 3 months from now there was something we should have talked about. Don't assume that I'll recognize it. So I think that results in a good working relationship. And again, like I said, you're all probably very familiar with what we're talking about. So again, thank you so much for your time and inquiring. We appreciate it. This isn't a bother for us at all. We're always willing to show up if there's anything going on.
I really appreciate you for coming. I have a question. Does he vote on these things?
Of course.
So-
We have to by law
So
approve the
how is
spending of the
he
bills.
voting on something yes for and coming later and raising concerns? That's my concern.
I do not understand his thought process. I just know that I often have to correct
Yeah.
some of, I believe, again, I can't speak exactly for him, but his actions to me speak of the fact that he is very sure there is corruption, and he's the white knight and must find it. I'm telling you, there isn't any, and if he has any specific evidence of corruption, please tell me, and we will fight him. We'll join with him and stop it. I guarantee it. So we need every dollar we can at the county. When I came in, we were about $50-some million in debt. We've got that down $5 or $6 million. So we're doing pretty well. We backed away from our county going bankrupt, and I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, and we have a great team, and as you know, good help is hard to find. That's one of our biggest challenges, not only financially, but operationally, is to keep staffed. And we struggle in all our departments, but our administration office, I can assure you, is top-notch. Our finance director, our accounting coordinator, our payables, our administrative assistant, we have so many good people working for you.
Our finance director knows every dollar by name personally. She's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you.
Again, thank you for your time, everybody. We
Yes,
appreciate
thank
it.
you for coming. Anyone else for public comment? Seeing none, moving to communications. Shirley?
Yes. So, just wanted to remind everyone that the yard sales, May 17th through, I'm sorry, May 15th through the 17th, we'll have a link on our website for signups. We have flyers up, there's flyers at the back of the room and up at City Hall. The following week, May 18th through the 22nd, cleanup week. Same thing as last year at DPW, Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 3:30. Wednesday will be an extended day to 7 p.m. I left recycling news back there. I don't think I handed it out to you guys this time. I do want to remind everyone of the council seats that are up for reelection. We have 3 4-year terms for council, 1 2-year term for the mayor seat. Those would be terms that it would be expiring December 1st of the council will be expiring 2030, December 1st, and the mayor seat would expire December 1st of 2028. Petitions, last day for filing in the clerk's office is April 21st by 4 p.m. The invoice edit report that Cindy and Greg were talking about, I did put that in your packet so you could see that. I did also put in your packet the special events application that I drafted. John looked at it, Kyle's looked at it. Since Kyle looked at it, I kind of switched things up a little bit, but John looked at it, thought it was okay. I guess we should talk about next meeting, what we will charge for that, because I did not put a price on it, so if that's okay, I'll add
So
that
you
to
want
the
to put
agenda.
that on the agenda for the next meeting? It'll give council an opportunity to review the application, and should they contact you if they
Yes.
have any questions about it or see something that maybe needs to
Yeah,
be
if anything
changed?
needs to be changed, or if you have any suggestions, just let me know. Six zoning permits from January to March, so it's kind of slow. And then, just a couple other things, sorry. Schindler will be here April 6th, which is Monday, through the 8th, fixing our elevator, putting that safety device on. I also emailed everyone yesterday. I forwarded the email from Justin Horvath for the training for the Bronzefield redevelopment. If anybody's interested, we're going to do that in our office, so we can all sit in. Or if you can't and you want to do it from another location, we can work those details out too. And everybody received the revised, the changes on the budget that Megan left before she left, so. That's it.
Any questions for Shirley on all the information she gave us? Okay. Moving on then to our committee reports. Oh, no, excuse me, I can't skip this part. The mayor reports and department head reports. John, do you have something?
Going to make it brief. We did our Marsh Lagoon discharge, everything went well. Leaf collection, we did pick up bags this week because of all the rain. We thought we'd get a jump on that. So we'll do leaf, well, we did run the leaf loader. So we'll do some leaf collection, everything's in the flyer. I think it gets mailed out for the 26th. Schedule, there's no specific days in April. Brush chipping is going to start next week. We'll have later to hire a company to go ahead and contract it out again. We've discussed it in the budget workshop, and it's been done before. And other than that, just our regular public works stuff that's going on.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions for John? Thank you, John.
Thanks, Shane.
Shirley, do you have anything
I
else
already did mine.
to report? So you're all done? Okay, I didn't want to miss you. I do want to let you folks know that OHM, the company that is filing our 2 grants for us, they did contact me and say that the street light project along Lansing Road was not appropriate for the 2027 legislative grant, but they have another grant that's better as far as we hit a lot of boxes. So they are submitting our request to this other portal, and they feel strongly, as strong as they can anyway, that we will get funded. It is a 10% match though. So it's a $145,000 project, so city will have to come up with 10%, but it doesn't fund until 2028. So we have time. So save all your loose change, and we'll all put it in a bucket. So that's that information. The Keeney Street Water Main Replacement Grant application was submitted, and I did receive verification from Senator Slotkin's office, from one of her clerks, verifying that they got it, give me their contact information, and he's actually the guy who was our go-between between Slotkin and us for the tornado repair stuff. So we've established a rapport with him. He wants to come out and have coffee and see our new buildings, so I think we've got a little bit of an open communication with him, so we'll see how that goes. We did also receive the contract for the single light at Britton Road and Lansing Road. That finally came today, and the bill was attached to it. And if you'll remember, they told us it would be 300, well, it's only 230, so hooray. And Shirley got that out in the mail today, so
Sure did.
we've sent that in. So that's everything that I had. Now we'll go to committee reports. Anyone have a committee report? Hearing none, looking at presentation and approval of the bills.
I move that we approve the bills as presented and the payment be authorized.
Second.
We have a motion from Kamal, seconded by Larry. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Motion passes. We don't have any old business, but we'll have John come back and explain to us about the brush chipping contractor.
Okay, so I've already talked to Paul Dunsmore at Dunsmore Tree. Everybody got the packet, so for the month of April and May, he's gonna keep it at $120 an hour. And then at June 1st, it'll go up through November, the end of November, to $135. And I figured approximately, it usually doesn't take it, but I had to calculate 5 hours a week so that I had enough if we get, I mean, we still have our chippers and we can help some too if it gets too crazy or out of hand, but, so the new budget will have money in it. We will have to transfer some into, move the yard waste money, essentially, to finish up this year, just like we did last fall, so.
Any questions for John about the chipping contract? Okay.
Assuming we approve this, they're starting. Able to start next week then?
Yep, I've talked to Paul, he's ready to go.
Any other questions for John? Any other discussion? Bob?
Is it worth doing it every other week? Or are we just gonna get, you're gonna get a bunch of calls?
Yeah.
So just keep doing, I don't
I
know if
mean,
it would save anything at all because it may take longer.
I can talk to him later when it starts getting light,
Right,
but, you know, it usually, it comes and goes. You might have a week that we get hardly anything, and then you'll have people cut a bunch of stuff.
it's
We
reasonable.
can-
I'm
we
not-
can
that's
kinda play
Not
it.
why I'm asking, it's just like, you know,
I
if we
can,
save $250, we can save $250 in a week, right? That's all,
Mhm.
you know.
I'm sure he'll work with me a little bit if
Okay.
things get where he,
If
but,
it's worth, not worth for him to come over
Yeah.
that week. Thank you.
okay, thanks.
And I think this is important for the public to know as well, that this frees up two people, because it's a two-man job. So realistically speaking, even though it's 120, 135 an hour, it still frees up resources for DPW, and they are short, and that's why you're approving this.
Mhm.
Any further comments?
I move that we
Discussion.
approve,
Thank you.
I move that we approve Dunsmore Tree Services and brush chipping contract starting April 7th, 2026 through November 24th, 2026. The contract amount for April and May will be $120 per hour, and from June 1st through November 24th will be $135 per hour with a minimum of 2 hours. We authorize DPW Superintendent John Souter to approve the proposal.
Second.
We have a motion from Larry, seconded by Bob. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Go ahead, John, and talk about the paving quote.
Okay, so we've got a couple pavings, these are just basically mill and fill, and they're on streets that I've selected that we don't have to do water main replacements or anything like that in the imminent future. So, as you can see, it would be North Watkins from Britton Road to Keeney Street, and then North Madison from Polly to East Polly to Horace. And I did have him break it out, since Watkins is longer, it was $35,560, and Madison was $24,337. One's highway major, one's highway local. And there was money in the budget. So I usually wait till the end of the year to do the paving or closer to it. So they said they could get us in the schedule before the end of June, so
Okay.
that's why I'm.
Any questions for John? Any discussion? Okay,
I move that we approve Michigan Paving and Materials quote to mill and repave 2-inch cap on North Watkins Street from Keeney to Britton Road and North Madison from East Polly to Horace. Project amount is not to exceed $59,897. We authorize John Souter to sign the contract and schedule the work.
Second.
we have a motion from Mike, seconded by Kamal. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
And John, if you want to go and beat the storm home, feel free.
I might want to stay if it's going to be that bad.
Uh,
That way I don't have to come back.
Yeah, that's true, we wouldn't have to drive back. Maybe you better hang around.
But thank you.
Yes. Next, we have on our new business agenda to set a public hearing or a second budget workshop meeting. So discussion, please, on your preferences.
What time frame are we looking at?
Well, are you wanting to do a public hearing, or are you wanting to do a budget workshop, another budget workshop?
Does anybody want a budget workshop?
I don't
Another
think so.
budget workshop?
I don't need.
I don't think we need
Everybody's
another budget
okay with
workshop.
us.
I'm confident with what we accomplished so
Okay.
far.
So we would want to do a budget hearing, or I'm sorry, a public hearing. And I think that I wrote down May 7th. We were thinking May 7th. Because we have to give Megan time to get back from vacation and get this like finalized so she can make it public. And then I need time to make sure I get it in the paper with the publication days, so. Just want to make sure I have enough time.
And we have to approve it by the 30th of May or the end of June, I can't remember.
30th of May.
That's what I
30th
thought,
of
okay.
May, yeah.
So that gives us time to have a public hearing and then,
Yep, because we can have the public hearing on the 7th, and you can approve it on the 7th also if you want to.
The public hearing would be a part of our council meeting. We would have the public hearing, and then go back into session, and that would be on our agenda to discuss whether we're ready to pass it or not.
Okay.
Does that work for everybody on the 7th? Mindy, yes? Bob?
Yep.
Yes? Mike, yes?
So
Come
far,
on.
yes.
No so far.
So,
You're not expecting another baby this year?
No.
Well, if they put it on your calendar, it's there forever, so.
If it's on my calendar, I'll be here.
Okay, Larry, works for you, Kristen? Okay. So I'm looking for a motion.
I move that we set public hearing for May 7th, 2026 at 7 PM in council chambers.
Second.
We
Okay,
have a-
I'm sorry. Can we say 7:10 or 7:15?
Okay, I move that we set a public hearing for May 7th, 2026 at 7:10 PM in council's chambers.
Second.
We have a motion from Kamal, seconded by Bob. You seconded first time, right, Bob? Okay, seconded by Bob. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. So, let me just write this down. Alrighty. Our next item on our agenda is a discussion regarding information that was gathered by a work group focusing on whether the city should look at hiring a city manager. That was then morphed into more of a part-time hiring position that we've titled city administrator. Council asked the work group to create the job description, which our attorney, Justin English, did, and then the work group revised it and provided it to all of you for review to see if you would like to move ahead at this time and create the position, or if you want more discussion or more time to think about it. So the discussion is open for anybody. Oh, and there's a letter too that was provided. Tom Bridges, who used to be the city attorney, no longer the city attorney, but he is on our work group. Larry started the group, Larry Lambert did. And he and I kind of brainstormed about various people to have in our work group. And Tom Bridges was suggested, he said he would. Misty Lytle was suggested, and she's here tonight, and she said she would, hooray. And
Genevieve Cottrell.
Genevieve Cottrell, who has been on council before, she's chair of the planning commission. And Bob Porter,
And I was,
yes.
I missed 2 meetings because of weather.
Well, I wasn't gonna mention it, but I know. But Tom did write a letter because he's in Florida right now. So, I hope you've had time to review it. And you're open for discussion or questions for Larry or Bob or I.
Yeah, I had notes on the one that I had and I didn't bring it with me.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, as Sue said, we kind of started the journey of the idea that says we need to have a city administrator. But to do that, as we talked before, in our charter, it requires, a vote of the people to be able to create the position. And the more we talked about it, the more we kind of realized that maybe we need to take a little smaller step or consider a little smaller step to a city administrator role, trying to get to the point that as council people change, as the mayor changes, that we have something that has some continuity to it. Not that the department heads aren't certainly fully capable, but a role to try to have, bridge changing that may, probably will inevitably occur when it comes to council and mayor positions over time. But it kind of evolved then to say, let's step back and look at the city administrator position and the roles and responsibilities that we've kind of outlined with Justin's help to make certain. Reason we get Justin involved in that is we want to make certain that whatever we came forward and proposed would not be in conflict with the requirements that are in our charter today. And, you know, even the rewrite that we kind of went through and did, Justin took another look at it and was perfectly fine that we maintained the essence of what he felt needed to be there to be, yeah, in good standing with the charter.
Tom did make some observations in his letter. I'll just pull a couple of them out because his letter's kind of lengthy and I'm sure you guys have read it. So, but he did mention that our group noted that Perry's the largest city in Shiawassee County that has no city manager or administrator or anyone filling that capacity. And that we did determine at least a part-time position is desirable in order for Perry to keep up with the administrative demands of a city in this modern, constantly changing environment. He also went on to mention that a staff person who can take on some of the project, such as grant writing, planning, possibly recycling, and if the city is successful in obtaining grants, because of that, it certainly is like a pays for itself type of thing. We don't take any of the authority that the council has or that the mayor has away from them. Everything stays as is, but it has someone who can focus on those things that tend to get lost because they're not urgent. The planning for capital improvement plan, the planning for projects, and then how are they going to be funded, and finding grants. Finding grants is as hard as writing for grants. It's harder, I think, but it takes a lot of time. And we just don't have anybody on staff that can constantly be doing that. Megan has written for a couple grants for parks and she's very good at it, but she's the treasurer. She can't be spending all her time looking for a myriad of grants. So that being said, I'll shut up and let you guys talk about it.
I just add also to remind everybody that we're already aware that the city just went through drafting an updated master plan for the city, and it will become dated. There's things in there that we said we'd like to do. It'd be another driving force to have that city administrator position help guide us and work with the planning commission and with us as a council to see that those things are moving forward.
So I sat on the work group, but again, like I said, I missed two. It was a stupid way. I'm still on the fence if this is a good idea or not. And everyone on this council knows that I want to pay for it, so how do we pay for it? And it kind of like, I think we, a little bit, this is not a dig at anybody on the thing, it kind of went out by just going with the administrator. Because I know it was a lot of work to do a city manager. It was, and no one wanted to do it, I understand, it's a lot of work. But this is definitely, if we did this, it would be, you know, part-time or a little less than that. I'm curious if we could have a discussion between the staff that we have and see if we can fulfill some of this with who we have already. And I'm not in the office, I don't work here, I don't, you know, so I don't know how the day-to-day stuff works.
Shirley, do you want to say anything to that? Do you think you can address that without?
How the day-to-day things work.
No, do you think, that's your opinion, that some of this, not all of this, could be fulfilled with the staff that we have? Could we fulfill part of this with the staff, you, Megan, and
Lindsay. Lindsay.
Lindsay, thank you.
Well, Megan has worked with the master plan with planning commission. She's also, you guys just appointed her as our RRC coordinator and paying her for it. And she's also a park administrator. I don't know like how, so we're busy in the office, but this wouldn't necessarily take an 8-hour day to do. She might work on this an hour a week You know what I mean? You really need to talk to Megan on.
Well, yeah, and I just wanted my question was just for an
My
opinion.
is, yes.
I don't know
yes,
if it's a
I
fair
think that-
question though, because
I can't speak for Megan.
yeah, I don't know if that's a fair
Well-
question for Shirley.
I don't know, and I'm not saying, I'm not,
I have that question for Shirley, because I think you've done some of it too, right?
What have I done?
Just participated in,
I do,
Grant
I
things and stuff
help
like that.
whatever, if, we all just work together. So if she needs help, I help her, if I need help, she helps me.
has it been a struggle when you've had these things to work on?
But they don't do, pardon me
Go
for
ahead, no, you're fine,
interrupting.
go ahead, yeah.
They don't do the majority of what's in here. They don't.
That was my other
So,
question. How
Bob,
much
I
of
think,
what's
is
in here
asking, do you have
is-
time to do what's in here
Yeah.
without us hiring
a
someone else?
portion of it, or do we look at, we have a Lindsay, right, is that right?
Mhm.
Part-time person, do we then? Just throw it out there, I don't know. Replace that person with a full-time person that does that part-time and this part-time. So you added one person, but they're taking up a role that we already have. It's just, it's a, you
Yeah,
know,
the criteria for their job is very different. I mean,
but because again, I don't know all the details of what every person does in their job. I have a general idea what the clerk does or what the treasurer does, I don't know necessarily what Lindsay does. And this is not what I do for a living, I don't manage those kinds of people, I manage other things, right? But it seems to me that this position is a little bit above, and so that person, if they're qualified to do this, they should be able to pick up those few little things that,
yeah, no, I'm not
Yeah,
saying
right.
they're not qualified, but think about it. If we hired someone to be a city administrator, let's say we would pay them $25 an hour. We don't pay Lindsay $25 an hour
Right,
to
and it's-
answer the phone and take
Yes.
your water bill payment.
I'm
Um,
trying to think
So,
outside the box.
and then that becomes a $20 an hour full-time position,
Which has other
where
things, okay.
if we hired somebody for $20 an hour as a part-time position, then we don't pay them,
It doesn't have all the other
insurance
things
and all
are
that other
connected
stuff.
to it, okay.
and then Lindsay's making less per hour, and
Than
she's
that,
part-time,
and she's
and we don't,
part-time.
yeah, so
Okay,
I
that's
think we'd
fair statement.
save money by keeping them separate.
And
Like-
that's my other question is, this looks like it requires a lot of expertise.
Yes, and a couple of
So-
areas, yeah.
Do we have that kind of expertise already in the office? I mean, I know they're very good at what they do.
Yes,
Or
they
is
are.
it going to
But
be
to
an
go
open
further-
position for
I'm
a
sorry?
while? Is that where you're going?
I'm
If it's
sorry,
gonna,
what?
if it's gonna be an open position for a while because we don't have someone who maybe is qualified to fill that position, is that where you were going?
Well, I was just wondering if their capabilities would help us meet these goals of these qualifications.
You could be right on, Mindy, and I don't know how to determine
Can I
that.
say something?
Yeah,
Yes.
All right, so just going through, because I read this a while ago when you sent it to me. So just going through this, Megan does the park and public facilities oversight, right? Megan does the master.
but the parks is not on here for this person to do.
It says
Do you
parks.
see that? Assist Parks Administrator with seeking funding opportunities for parks improvement. Assist Megan, who the Parks Administrator is,
Okay, how much
Assist
time are?
with
I mean,
recreation planning.
Okay,
The
I
main
think-
things on here for them to do is search out grants and apply for grants and coordinate the development of a capital improvement plan.
okay,
Working then with Megan in the RRC program, helping her whatever she needs help with, and working with her in parks, attending the meetings, taking any assignments that council would like to have accomplished by that person. again, I can't see how our full-time treasurer or full-time city clerk would have the opportunity to do this in addition.
We can shoehorn some of this stuff into the existing people, but we're gonna, I don't want this to come across, it's nothing against our staff, they do a super job, but if we wanna take the city to the next level in terms of, what are we gonna do with our streets, what are we gonna do with, bigger park improvements? We continue to have the good fortune of bringing, some more people into the community. There's some early rumbling during preliminary discussion about if we ever get more water capability and things, of expanding to phase 3 in the Prairie Lakes area. Not immediate, but those are all things that I don't think that, my perspective, that we're equipped to handle those. And one more person or a half a person is not gonna magically make it happen. We could step back and say, business as usual, and we'll do the best we can. Or we can say, here's an opportunity to maybe put a toe in the water, figuratively speaking, to start, and if it doesn't work, we've at least given it a try.
It would be an at-will employee, and maybe it was Misty, somebody at the work group said, well, what do we do if that person doesn't work out, if they don't do what we're wanting them to do, if they're not successful in getting grants and things? I said, well, then we let them go. It doesn't work out. They're an at-will employee, just like all the employees here at the city of Perry are. If they're not working out, they're not working.
I just have 3 questions. How many grants are there will they be able to get? Did anyone look at that information? Because if we're gonna hire someone for, let's say, $20,000 a year, a part-time or quarter per, however it is that you name it, and you're gonna pay him $20,000, I hope there is at least $150,000 in grants that he's gonna be bringing in, so we'd be making the money somewhere. Does that make sense?
We would not know that, Kamal. There are projects, we have DPW projects, 2 other water main redos that we need to do, and those are each $995,000.
Yeah, but are there grants that would support the $995,000? Like, are there grants, like if we hire someone today or tomorrow?
You just applied for one.
Through OHM, right?
Correct.
Why don't we continue using that process instead of hiring someone?
Because they're doing these for free for us, because they've been working with us in our water and that whole structuring project, evaluating project of the city. They're doing those 2 things for free. They would not typically do those for free.
Yeah, and that leads me to my second question, because according to what I'm hearing, that person has to have grant experience, right? Some experience in grant writing.
The person in
Who
the
would
city
for this
administration.
position? Yeah, who we would
Yeah.
be looking at.
Well, yeah,
I am not sure how successful we will be able to find someone who would have those qualifications
And I don't
with a
either.
significant experience that would match what we're looking for.
mhm.
And that would be, I think, an issue, because we would be approving approving for something that is just not, I understand where you guys want to go with this, I just don't know, I'm not sure how, logistically speaking, I would love to see, like, if they can come and say, you know what, there's 5 grants, I'll apply to them tomorrow. We might not get them, but at least we know how
But
many
you
grants.
don't just
there is
apply
that
for a
missing.
grant. You have a project, you search for grants that might fit into, and then you apply for it. It's not just, oh yeah, I know of 5 grants, the city can apply for it. They're not just out there
Mhm.
for whatever you want to put them to. You have to be very specific when you apply what it's going to be used for. So either I'm not understanding your question, or you're not understanding what grants are.
No, I understand what grants are. What I'm saying is, you're gonna hire someone and pay them $25 an hour, and taking just that number, and that's supposed to be a grant writer with experience who's gonna be supposedly bringing $900,000.
No, no, no,
You
that's
can't,
not
I
right.
don't think you can, I understand what you're saying, come on. We hired a grant writer, or someone, grant writer, wasn't that what he was?
Yes, we
I
did
can't
hire
remember
a
what we
grant
paid
writer
for
once,
him, it
yeah,
was kind of a per diem thing.
yeah.
I'm not saying, and that, I don't mean to say that I'm against this wholeheartedly, I just want to discuss, can we do anything
Not in-
inside that?
Yeah.
But I don't think you can quantify it with saying, well, if they don't bring in 5 grants for this much money, they're not worth it, because if everything in here, if they do the other things that are maybe falling through the cracks, that would help. Like Larry said, we do need to look for the future and, going towards that. And again, I said it when I started, we just need to pay for it. How do we afford, or how do we pay for?
And where I was gonna go with this is, why don't we contract it out?
Well, you could contract out the grant writing, but who's gonna make sure we have a consistent and up-to-date capital improvement plan? Because you need to have that in order to help support grants sometimes. You also need to make sure that your master plan for the city is up to date. And the planning commission did do that fairly recently, with Megan prodding them along. But if this person were on board, they could stay on top of that. There's just so many day-to-day things that I think would benefit the city by having someone on board in a part-time way. And how would we pay them?
That's my only, I'm pretty transparent with that, how,
Yeah,
I've always said the same thing, that's all. Because I think we're all going in the right direction, at least the people that are on that little committee.
Right
Thinking in
now,
the right direction.
right now, we do have an additional $50,000 a year that will come in, that did come in this year, it was $54,000 from the
For
marijuana store.
store, right, but I think we
So-
spent that already.
Well, I don't think we have.
So a couple thoughts I have.
We
on
have those funds available. And I think Misty asked, well, what happens if they close? And I said, then we don't have an employee anymore, because then we can't pay them. I mean, that's my thought.
I would say with the grants, there's, about 10, 12 different areas in this job description. So you're focusing on one of them, but there's a lot of other things.
Absolutely, I am focusing on one, yes.
2, I think Megan should be here to weigh in, because we're kind of
Absolutely.
guessing about how much time she has and what she works on. And I'd say 3, in my time here, the workers in the office have decreased. We got less people doing more already in about the 5 years or so I've been here. So asking them to take on more things, to me, is a pretty big ask, especially with, considering we had a committee that went through and filtered all this stuff and came up, with this document with a basic outline. I think we need to get, Megan's opinion and kind of respect the work that they've already done and how much time they put in. And this is a lot to ask the people in the office to take on in addition to what they've already taken on.
But we may already be doing some of this
Yes.
stuff already.
Yeah, I agree, but I think without Megan here, I don't think we can really come up with a decision tonight.
Absolutely.
I have
Yes.
one more thought.
Yes.
Too. I think mayor does a great deal of these things too.
I participate in all of them, yes, I do.
And we've had a lot of mayors that also have full-time jobs.
Right.
And we've just been fortunate, the mayor we have right now has been willing to put the time in and the effort and the energy. We may not always have that person able to help with some of this stuff in the office.
That's a good point.
And I do want to publicly say Shirley, please don't take this as a, I don't think you're doing your job.
Oh, I'm not, don't worry.
You do your job and more. And Megan does her job and more. But there's just a whole lot more that could be done to help promote the city of Perry if we had somebody. If they were searching out businesses to come into town, if they were recruiting that type of thing, if they attended some of the meetings that the legislators have that talk about the money that's available to bring businesses in. I don't do that. I don't go to those. I put in about 20 hours a week, and I get $4,000 a year. And I know we don't do it for the money, but that's about my limit.
Yeah, I don't
I honestly thought you put in more than that, based on, you know,
Well,
what.
I'm generalizing,
what is
but
accomplished.
yeah.
I wasn't, at least I wasn't insinuating that you do more, or,
No.
I just wanted to see, make sure we're as efficient as possible.
Yeah.
That's all.
But I think
Because I
it's-
think, I'm not against the idea, I wouldn't have sat on that committee if I was against the idea.
I think it
Also-
would be good to have Megan and Shirley be in a room with us at a meeting or have a, whatever, however you want to do it. I think certainly it would be good to hear from them because maybe we could whittle this down a little bit
And
as far as
one more thing to bring
job
up too,
description.
as far as like the workload in that office, and I'm not sure even everyone aware, as on council is aware of it, but it's gotten to the point where the people in the office have a tough time scheduling vacation days. And
Yeah.
taking days away from here because there's too much work
That's
that'll
right.
fall through the crack, and we've had to come up
That's right,
with ways
Right.
to get creative to
Yeah.
where we can give them a day off.
that's right.
So
Yeah, and
coming up with
that's-
something like this and
Yeah.
saying, can you take on more,
Right.
like, it gets pretty unfair to the people in that office. Like, they gotta have life outside of work too.
But the person that you would hire would not do my job.
No, they wouldn't
And so
touch your
that wouldn't
job.
make
I just don't wanna put more on you
No,
guys,
I
I'd
know,
rather
but
give you
that-
guys help.
No, I understand, but that wouldn't make my decision to take a vacation or not take a vacation any different because I'd still have the same responsibilities and deadlines.
I see what you're saying.
See what they still have to, you know, they're still.
Yeah, no, he's just saying that
Mhm.
it's hard enough for you to be
No, I
able to
understand. Yeah,
get
and I
away
totally
now
get
if
it.
we
I
gave
don't
you
wanna give you more to do.
more
I
to do.
understand, yeah. Mhm.
I don't think we should, I think we need to have Megan here and ask her basically the same thing, what is your opinion? And then make the decision. 'Cause it may or may not change, tweak, as they change,
Yeah.
these positions, or this outline as a
Right.
position.
The next, the first meeting of May,
Mhm.
which is when we're gonna have our
Public hearing.
public hearing and the vote on the budget, Megan would be here. If you want to try to do it then, we could, although, you know, she's always so busy right up till budget finally gets approved.
Well, we are not in a hurry,
No,
per
we're
se,
not.
to get this done.
Maybe we
If the
should check
question-
with her.
If the question in front of council is this a good idea to have this position, we could maybe,
Well, we don't have to vote on that tonight. I agree that you all want to talk to Megan and Shirley together, and maybe when we need to do that is the second meeting of May.
I think it's a good idea to
Yeah.
table it to them.
Yeah, so let's put it on the agenda for the second meeting of May, if Megan can make it,
Oh, I'm sure, okay. Somebody want to
21st, I think.
for some more discussion.
I move that we table the discussion about the city administrator position until the second week of May,
Second
meeting.
meeting. of
second
May.
meeting of May,
21st.
21st for, May 21st, 2026 for city council and staff.
second.
We have a motion from Kamal, seconded by Bob. All those in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. And we will ask Megan to attend and Shirley to talk to us about their What's that?
I said a 10 too.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
it'll give you guys time to put more thought into
Yeah, I would like to talk to Megan too.
all of these things
Yes.
and how much more you can take on or.
Right.
Any other business that needs to come before council at this time? Council, do you have any observations you'd like to make or discussion on any item at all?
I'm not against that position, just for the record. I just want a lot more clarification,
Of
just,
course, yeah.
just
That's
make
why
sure that,
we
yeah.
have to ask and
I think everybody
have the
agrees with
discussion.
you. Do not feel like you were the only person. You were just the only person verbalizing it strongly, and that's okay. Anybody else for public comment? Missy, come up here.
Since you guys keep bringing my name up. I'm Misty Lytle, I live on Lime Street, and I was part of the committee, and I just want to reiterate that we're like the only city in Shiawassee County that doesn't have some kind of position like this to help us look for the future and be able to maybe need to build a bigger water tower or something if we're going to build more houses in Perry Lakes. I don't know if you've been around Perry Lakes, but it's pretty built up right now. And I know I used to work at the high school and we've had water problems up there. It's just, I know that if we're looking towards the future, I feel like we're getting a little behind if we don't have a person looking for all those grants. Because again, working in school systems, we actually hire people just to work for grants because they're just kind of floating out there. You have to find them. You have to have the time to look for them and then to fill out all of the paperwork just the way they want it to be filled out, because they'll send it back to you. Oh, you forgot this checkbox. You need to do this. And so it is like a job to be a grant writer. And so to ask the very small staff that we have working here to do that, to take on all of that, finding all of these butterflies of grants somewhere, it is a lot to put on someone else. Because, I mean, you actually can go to school to learn how to be a grant writer. And I don't feel like we have that on our staff at this point because that wasn't what they were hired to begin with for. So that's what we had discussed, and I just wanted to let you know, we did ask the question about how would we pay for it. That was one of my questions too. And yes, the pot shop was brought up. So I feel like you guys all asked really good questions, so I'm glad that you're on our city council asking those questions too. So just wanted to let you know that yes, we had some good conversation, and I do feel like it's something that would be a benefit to our community to look into it more.
Thank you, Ms.
Yeah,
Street.
your opinion.
Yep.
As far as agenda items for our next meeting, we're going to talk about the fee for the special event application. Was there anything else? Anybody?
Do we have to approve that application, just the fees, right?
No, just the fee, yeah. I just gave you the application to look over.
For our information.
So far, that's the only thing I have.
Did
Oh,
we hear back about that parade, the
haven't
parade
heard.
of the
Carnival.
carnival?
Yeah, no, I haven't heard one
Okay.
thing back. Other than he was gonna start to work on Sessa's application, will Sessa send a letter of their increase, or do I?
Yes, they will, and I think we have a meeting next week?
Okay, cause
No,
I,
2 weeks from now. So I think that's when we're gonna finalize it and get out. It's either that or first meeting in May, we'll get it out to all of
okay,
this.
the first meeting of May is like when we vote to,
Yeah, I think it's next meeting,
Okay.
but I don't go to the bank with that.
okay, that's perfectly fine, I just wanted to ask. And you're gonna be absent next meeting,
Yes, next meeting, I have a,
prior engagement, okay.
Anything else? Then at 8 o'clock, our meeting's adjourned. Thank you all.